Yo, what's going on YouTube? I'm back with another video. Today I'm gonna run down basically how I plan out my double day sessions. Okay, so firstly, before I get into the details, the first thing you have to do with a double day is you gotta plan it out. So you gotta plan out what specific gym day you wanna do, number one, and number two, what specific technical training you wanna do. For me personally, I wouldn't recommend doing a gym session with heavy fitness, especially if you're not in a professional setting where they can track all of your, certain elements, your heart rate and all of that, because basically you might push yourself too much and the next day you won't be able to train. So that's why you have to plan that you do enough to challenge you, but not enough that it's going to break your body down too much and then you're going to have to rest the next day. So the main thing is planning out, doing enough, but still leaving enough in a tank for the next day. Because what I like to do is I'll do a split of, for example, on a Monday I'll do double sessions. Then on the Tuesday I'll just do a full technical where I work on like specific elements like striker elements, working on my finishing, maybe a bit of free kicks and that type of stuff. So for me, if I work too hard on a Monday, then I can't work on Tuesday. So I need to find a way to balance challenge and effectiveness with not too much fatigue, and that's the main challenge when dealing with a double day. Okay, so the first thing you gotta do when you're planning out your double sessions is you gotta look at the gym session, and with the gym session, you gotta look at either doing a pull or push day because they work different key muscles and different elements of strength. So what I'm gonna do today is a pull day. So I'm gonna be doing stuff like pull-ups, back rows, all of that type of stuff. But for legs, there's no specific thing where it's pull or push unless you're using more of the machine type weights where it's not free weights. Then you have a different element in, like with leg extensions, it's pulls, and with the hamstring curls, for example, it's pull as well. And then with like something like the leg pushes on the machine, it's pushing. So it's stuff like that you just gotta look at. But for me, I don't use any machine because I'm working out at home. I got my own weights. So I'm just gonna be doing simple leg exercises. And the key things I like to involve in doing my leg exercises is firstly it needs to work my single leg because I'm a footballer. I need to have strong legs in terms of singular, not having strong legs in terms of using both legs in a movement, because most of the time I'm running, I'm shooting, I'm jumping, and I'm on a single leg most of the time. So that's what I like to do. Also for me, my left leg is stronger than my right, so I'm going to be focusing more on my right, doing like 2 to 4 extra reps on my right to basically work on that imbalance. And also the one thing I like to work on is working on extra movements with the compound movement. So for example, if I'm lunging, I'll do a knee drive afterwards, which works on my sprint technique, my single leg balance work as well. It works my core as well because I'm balancing with weights on a single leg. So for me, that's good for injury prevention as well. So that's why I like to add in more elements. And when you're planning out a double day, you gotta plan out specific things like that to work on your weaknesses because there's no point strengthening your strengths when you're in a gym program but you're not working on the weaknesses, because weaknesses are like imbalances, lagging muscles, and those muscles will prevent you from actually improving on your strengths a lot more. Okay, for the first superset, it's chin ups and Bulgarian split squat jumps. So with a chin up, I'm not going to explain that much. I'm sure you know how to do a chin up. But with the Bulgarian split squat jumps, what you do is basically follow the same principles as you would with a normal Bulgarian split squat. You keep your back straight, your head up. The only thing now is you're gonna go right down into a deep range of motion, and you're gonna explode up, lifting your leg off of the ground. And you follow that principle through, and you basically, it's pretty much the same movement except you're just gonna explode up. Straight, and when you pull the weight, pull it with your arm until your arm is parallel with your body, and then you go down again. So control the movement, keep your back straight as possible, your head up, your neck in line with your body, and you'll get the most out of that movement. With the deadlifts, these are better with a barbell, but I don't have a barbell at home, so I just use dumbbells. And basically the main thing here with the dumbbells is you have to reach a lot deeper. So the main thing is to keep your back straight, your head up, and then you pull, and as you're pulling up, explode up quickly, and then you go back down, drop it down, and do the same thing again. Isolation work, basically this is the time where you can work on your arms or your calves or certain lagging muscles like that. So for me, my arms are weak compared to the rest of my body, so that's why I'm doing the concentration curls. And the calf raises I just like to work as well, because they always need to be strengthened, especially because as footballers we use them so often. So basically it's just a superset between these two: concentration curls for the biceps and forearms, and calf raises for the calves. And with me, with the calf raises, I just like to bend my knees and then explode up, and that gives me more of a hit. Okay, so straight after my session is completed, the first one, what I do is basically I get some stretching in, just a light cool down, just so that the muscles can be, loosened up, so that I don't go into my next session tight, because then there's an increased risk of an injury, especially in stuff like the quads and the hamstrings. Those two are the main ones, because those two especially deal with sharper movements. So basically with me, I always like to make sure that my muscles are loose as possible, so that there's no chance of getting, a hamstring strain or a light thigh strain or groin strain or something like that. So I just stretch off. After that, I just make a smoothie. And after that, I just make a smoothie. I get some nutrition in. I like to have smoothies because basically it digests quicker rather than having a full meal, because a full meal, it might sit in my stomach and then it might make me just feel awful. So I prefer to just get a smoothie in, quick digesting, a lot of nutrients, a lot of stuff, some carbs in, so that in the next session I can be 100% to kill that shit, because I don't want to be feeling tired. So I'll hit the next session, the training session, in about 3 hours, 4 hours. And then I'll go in, I'll do that for about an hour and a half, maybe to 2 hours. And then that's basically how we plan out your double days, basically. It's just as simple as that. The main thing is the planning and having an idea behind it. And once you have that, everything just becomes clearer. So now it's on to getting in that smoothie, showering, and then on to some other work. Okay, now straight after this, gonna be about maybe 2 or 3 hours of rest, then into the second session. In this little break, what I like to do is just basically a lot of the work that I had planned out for the day. So it'd be social media work, studying something, working on the business, on the academy that I'm creating, working on some other stuff. But basically, it's just working on the other side of things other than the professional football or physical technical side. So it's just that, to bridge that gap in between working on other elements. And basically from there, once I'm done with that, I go into the technical session. Okay, so before I get into the work of the actual technical session, I actually want to give you guys a bit more insight into my story and what I've basically been through in 2020 and what's been happening and all of that. Basically, 2020 overall, in terms of football, in terms of playing football, getting, creating that highlight video, creating that CV, building, to become or to get more into the world of professional football, it's been tough. With Corona, almost everything was cancelled. In South Africa, we had a lockdown where for about 2, 3 months, basically everything was locked down, as in there were no businesses even open. So it's been a tough year. No, I would say no real progress in that regard was actually made. But in terms of the overall aspect of me as a player, building, the high value footballer or AYD into a proper business, all of that I would say definitely has improved overall. Just a lot of other things like getting my personal training certification, first aid course certification, just a lot of stuff like that's been positive. With regards to the team that I'm playing for right now, I'm probably going to be looking for or joining a new team in 2021, and hopefully in this new team I'll be able to get a bit more game time, a bit more time to express myself in the position that I want, and also just basically to grow more as a footballer. Because over the past season and a half, this season in 2020 was cancelled, of course, but the previous season I was sitting on a bench, not getting much game time, and not really, it wasn't really communicated to me exactly why I was sitting on the bench. I was just sitting on the bench in and out of the squad, and there was no real, what can I say, idea or thought process behind it, in the sense of nothing was really communicated to me clearly of what I actually needed to do to get into the starting lineup. So for me, I just look at it like, in my life right now, I feel like I just need something new. I need to move on. So I'm going to be looking for a new team. Hopefully, I can join a team in a higher division or in the same division, but hopefully, just get a lot more game time in my set position, which is the number 10 position. I can also operate as a striker, but I prefer the 10 role. I feel that suits me more. But basically, hopefully next year 2021 I can highlight and I can give you guys more highlights of me playing 11v11, because I've been giving a lot of indoor, but that's not proper. I wouldn't say it's not proper football, but it's not 11v11, the proper stuff that you guys want to see. So hopefully next year I'll be able to get some highlight clips. And with that being said, let's get into the technical work. So basically with the technical session, this is full short passing, and starting off, it's just 2 drills which are absolutely basic, as in you're going to first time pass it and you're going to take a pass and then touch and then pass. These are the first 2 because these are the most basic, and you're going to do this in any game that you play, any training session, any indoor game, anything. You're going to first time pass and you're also going to take a touch and then pass. So these 2 are the first ones to start off with, basically just to get into the swing of things so that you can almost warm up your body to the passing movements, and then after that you get into the real stuff. And the real stuff, the first drill, is controlling with your soul. Now this is basically, it's almost going to be like you're holding off a defender as you control it. So you're going to pass the ball, take it on your soul, hold up, pass the ball, take it on your soul, hold up, and you're going to do that on both feet, of course. Later on there will be a time where you focus on one leg, but for now it's both feet. And then after that you go to the inside touch. So you just pass it, take it on your inside left, pass it, take it on your inside right, and you follow through with that exact same movement. When you're taking the touch, make it as clean as possible so that you don't need to take extra touches. Take it in, pass, take it in, pass. And you do the exact same thing. This time you're going to use the outside of your foot. Same principle applies. When you're taking that outside touch, make sure that you have enough on it so that you can just pass straight away again. The next one is half turn passes. So all you're going to do is pass, receive on a half turn, pass, receive on a half turn. This would actually work better if you have another platform in front of you, which you can basically take it on a half turn, pass straight, take it on a half turn, pass to the left, go straight again, then take it to the right. But unfortunately I don't have that, but if you do, that'll be much better. It'll be a really great addition. And then you move on to the single leg walk. Now basically with the reps and sets with this little workout, it's 2 sets for both feet and 2 sets for one foot only. And what you do is you go for 1 minute for each little passing drill. And then for the single leg stuff, it really gets challenging, so you can do 1 or 2 for that. For the others, it's 2 sets standard. And then you basically just go through sole control, first time passes, and first time and then pass and receive, and you do that for the single leg stuff. And then that's basically the full workout through and through. Okay, now this is the time where you basically start cooling the body down, getting it from that sympathetic to a parasympathetic state. And how I do this is basically just have fun with the ball and just do freestyle tricks. Now this is a cool way just to cool down, because it's just having fun with the ball. It's improving your touch, improving your confidence with the ball, and you're having fun. So it's just a cool way to get the heart rate down, to relax the body, and that's basically the first stage of your recovery. Straight after this, you're just getting to the stretching, you have a protein shake, and then you're basically done. Okay, now that the session is done, second shake in. Basically, with this shake, it's a lighter one than compared to the previous one. This one is just basically protein powder, some milk, some chia seeds, ashwagandha as well, just to basically start bringing the body more into a parasympathetic state, so I can, just start relaxing, recovering, basically winding down from the 2 previous sessions. So this is basically how I plan my double days out. It's just a simple planning. All I gotta do is I just work with the program that I'm currently working with now, that I've created for myself, with regards to gym sessions, which days I do technical work and which days I'm gonna do, more fitness related stuff. So basically I just follow the plan, and this is just basically day 1 of that plan. Day 1 starts with a double day. So every Monday, this is basically what I'm going to be going through. With the gym session, it's either going to be push or pull, but most likely the technical session will always be short passing. Maybe I'll change it up to ball control, but most likely it'll be short passing, just different variations of it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do want to see more of these type of vids, hit me with a comment down below of what you enjoyed about this one, or what you feel you want to see more of in the next one. If you liked it, hit the like button, and if you enjoy what I put out, well, subscribe. So I'll see you guys soon. Remember guys, whatever you do, always keep it high value.